Dietrich Bonhoeffer, remembered 9th of April. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is a theologian and writer commemorated in the church calendar on the anniversary of his death, the 9th of April. Born in 1906 in Breslau, then in Germany, now in Poland, Dietrich and his twin sister were the 6th and 7th children of 8. Part of a professional middle-class family, he controversially decided to pursue the study of theology. Bonhoeffer showed a great aptitude for his studies. His outlook was partly influenced by the suffering of orphans and the homeless in the aftermath of the First World War. This developed when he moved to America in the 30s. He felt American students were not suitably invested in their study of theology and its impact on their lives. Whilst in America, he was introduced to the Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem by a black student, and he began to teach at the Sunday school there. Bonhoeffer's theology continued to have a focus on social justice and place a high value on each individual human life. He returned to Germany in 1931 and was ordained in the Lutheran Church. His academic career received a blow with the rise of the Nazi Party in 1933. Bonhoeffer had been an opponent since their inception and made a radio broadcast condemning the idolatry of the Führer 2 days after Hitler became Chancellor. He continued to voice strong opposition and worked to actively resist new policies the state was imposing on churches. Jews were to be persecuted. The German state ordered re-elections for church synods, with party-backed candidates predominating. Baptisms were declared invalid when conducted by clergy with Jewish ancestors who were themselves removed from office, and calls were made to remove the Old Testament from the Bible. In the face of this, he urged that the church must not simply, quote, bandage the victims under the wheel, but jam a spoke in the wheel itself. Bonhoeffer was removed from his post after being denounced by his bishop as a pacifist and an enemy of the state. He would work to run an underground seminary to train priests for ministry without the backing of the state-sponsored churches. He would also become associated with the underground resistance network in Germany before and during the war. He was arrested in 1943 for subversive activities. On the 9th of April 1945, during the collapse of the Nazi regime, he was stripped naked and hanged at Flossenbürg concentration camp. He has no known resting place. A new statue of him, commemorated as a 20th century martyr, sits above the doors of Westminster Abbey. Bonhoeffer's writing on costly discipleship and costly grace versus cheap grace are still widely read and influential. He focused on the cost of genuinely choosing to follow the teachings of Christ, and that it is far from easy. His doctrine of cheap and costly grace contends that Christians have relied so much on Christ's forgiveness that they do not challenge themselves enough in actually following his word to their best abilities, instead relying on God's grace to save them when they fall. Bonhoeffer says that Christians are instructed to strive to follow the word of God. Only then, after they strive to the best of their abilities, should God's boundless grace come into play. Dietrich Bonhoeffer is remembered this Wednesday, 9th of April.